As I'm sure a lot of you have heard by now, the unmarketable Saints Row Reboot dropped the other day, and my god it's just fucking awful. I mean, there is truly not a single redeeming aspect of this game. From being a buggy, broken mess to the PS5 and any console struggling to maintain a stable 30 FPS during gameplay, the graphical effects worse than you could possibly imagine. Not to mention just how bland the open world is and how empty it is. I cannot describe how bad this game is. All I can do is show you. And oh boy, is there a lot to show you guys. This game is so bad it's managed to top the awful rain effects seen in the GTA trilogy quote-unquote remaster. The levels of incompetency in terms of game development skills you need to have in order to cause such absurdly horrific lighting in a video game is bewildering, to say the very least. The reasoning behind the severe issues with the sandstorm, but maybe rainy sandstorm, or caused by things any competent developer would know not to do, aka don't make every sand particle reflect light, because it would obviously cause it to be impossible for the player to see even a foot in front of them during a fucking car chase. And to begin with, it just looks horrible. It genuinely feels like the Saints Row Reboot was developed single-handedly by artificial intelligence, which was instructed to base the entire game around the "how do you do, fellow kids" clip.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Whilst also being purely trained off of the opinions of the far left on Twitter. I mean, just listen to the dialogue in this game.
And if you want a $300 waffle maker, you can buy it with the exposure the idols pay you in. Don't expect us to chip in.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune? As an investor, I don't like wasting money.
You're wearing a fucking bow tie.
Okay, I will throw in 20 bucks for a waffle maker.
What sort of waffle maker can I get for 35 bucks?
Presumably one that makes fucking waffles?
Hey! Hey! The wage slave is back!
How was your first day? Were the other mercenaries nice to you?
You know, as far as hired killers go, I'd give them a 7.
You look like you could use a mimosa.
Thanks, Eli.
Seriously, how's the job?
It's the murder business. The fundamentals don't change, just the uniform.
I can tell you love it.
Okay, I don't have to love it, I have to pay my student loans.
Poof, I'm in.
So I'm guessing that means the pay's good.
Supposed to be. Got stiffed on my bonus today. I played a little fast and loose on the job, and well, my CO wasn't a fan.
You gotta be kidding me.
Swear to God, this lady walked right off the set of an 80s action movie. I was half expecting her to call me Rook and threaten to take my bad.
Brunch is a time for friends and mimosas, not debates on morality.
If you thought the conversational dialogue was painfully cringy and downright terrible writing, just wait until you listen to the monologues in the reboot, because I have genuinely never heard worse dialogue in any game before, and I've played Borderlands 3. The Saints Row Reboot in of itself proves that counting the number of times people swear in dialogue is a legitimate way to tell how awful the product you are buying is going to be.
Insanity.
All in line? What the fuck?
Didn't get a bonus.
Actual fuck?
And
What the actual goddamn fuck?
you would
What
never
the actual
believe.
goddamn motherfucking goddamn fuck!
Yeah.
Crap.
I'm guessing there might be some music playing right now. If you, I turned off the licensed music.
Goddamn fucking shit.
There might be some music right now.
Bitch
I
ass.
don't know.
Swipe,
Probably
piss,
is.
Swipe, crap, and crap.
Yeah. Again, those little stutters there, I didn't notice when I was playing. So
Fall
again,
in line.
please don't be too harsh in the comments.
It should be impossible for anyone to construct such unlikable and uncharismatic characters without doing it on purpose. There is no way in hell the narrative and dialogue for the reboot was not developed by an AI, with the processing power of a koala bear's brain. I would not be surprised if the entire game was purely developed by an AI. After all, how on earth do you release a game and have the ending not function properly due to an obvious bug that is undeniably impossible to miss, both during development and playtesting?
The next one is a massive spoiler, so I want to give a really clear warning. It's from one of the most pivotal moments in the entire game, and I'm only showing it to you because it is so bad, and it really shows just how not ready this game is for launch. To have a moment like this play out this way. This is the final shootout with one of the central characters in the game. Here's how it goes down.
If there's one thing everyone should take from this video, it's that Volition needs to be shut down. These developers working there do not deserve your support, and Deep Silver sure as hell does not. Just go to my Dead Island 2 video covering the insane developer abuse suffered under said publisher. Usually I am all for supporting the developer, but in this case, this isn't just Deep Silver being Deep Silver. This is the developers listening to people like Anita Sarkeesian. As all of my subscribers know, I am almost always making fun of anti-SJWs for saying that everything's supposedly woke, but in this case, the Saints Row Reboot is just woke garbage. All this reboot is a terrible developer trying to get out of the gutter by desperately pandering to the bot accounts on Twitter. After Agents of Mayhem launched and almost pushed Volition into bankruptcy, due to it being exactly like the Saints Row Reboot, in the sense that it launched incredibly buggy and incredibly broken, with little to nothing underneath all the bugs and brokenness to actually enjoy once those were fixed. So they had to get rid of a significant portion of their developers, and it's abundantly clear that's a major reason behind why the Saints Row Reboot is so unbelievably dogshit. The new version of Volition is one that is a terrible company, and it is not the Volition people know and love. Their treatment and response to fans voicing their legitimate complaints about one of the worst games ever made is proof enough of it. Back when the game was originally announced, people voiced their concerns after seeing how woke the game appeared to be. I was one of those people, although I personally tried to distance myself from the anti-SJW channels as much as possible, because they're all insane cunts, equally as deranged as the SJWs they call out, and they responded in the most brilliant way, mocking the fans of the Saints Row series. Now that the Saints Row Reboot has launched and we were all proven right, but once again Volition employees are out damage controlling by being pieces of shit on Twitter and attacking the very people who built the company up to what it was when Saints Row peaked. And let's be honest here, the developer here in question probably put more effort into this shitty meme than he did into developing the actual game. And a major reason as to why the Saints Row Reboot sucks so goddamn much is because of Epic Games, with their exclusivity bullshit. Deep Silver truly adores the money they get from that Fortnite wallet of Epic Games. But the problem is Deep Silver's a terrible company to both its developers and its consumers, hence the stuff that happened with Metro Exodus as well. For those of you who are understandably maybe a little bit confused as to how Epic Games is indirectly responsible for all of this, it's because the exclusivity deals they make with companies like Deep Silver cover all development costs, so no matter what, the Saints Row Reboot cannot do anything but make profit, unless not a single soul buys the game, which unfortunately obviously isn't possible. So you know what the pieces of shit at Volition did? They took advantage of the Fortnite cash and released a completely unfinished product with no redeeming qualities at all. The reason that when you do heists in this game, you don't even do the heist and you just sit in a car watching a cutscene of other people doing the heist is because they didn't have to make a full product. All they had to do is release some pile of garbage and let the cash come in, since Epic Games cover the development costs, which is exactly what they've done here. But I am glad at the very least that the number of sales they did get are obviously infinitesimal, especially in comparison to what they would have gotten if they just made an actual functioning game that can perform better than fucking 30 FPS on a PS5, and one where the AI isn't somehow worse than Overwatch's bots in the private lobby. This game, almost a week after launch, still looks as if Volition accidentally uploaded the pre-alpha version onto the Epic Games Store servers.
I saw a couple of buses out by the mall. We could use those to move people.
Good idea. Jessa, can you get them running?
Yeah, I'll work my magic. That bitch will be locked and loaded.
Yeah, and I'll get some salvage to reinforce the exterior.
Oh, that's nice. Tank bus!
The reasoning behind my review of the Saints Row Reboot being so short is because, unlike in my other reviews, I genuinely cannot find anything positive to talk about here. In the majority of my reviews, I'm usually talking positively about things, even if I do have to recommend that people not buy games because of performance issues with Elden Ring and Dying Light 2 on consoles. But the problem here is there's nothing redeemable about it. There's nothing underneath all the performance issues, the bugs, and the writing. There's even slightly me worth recommending. In fact, I don't even recommend you go out and pirate this game. The only thing you could possibly gain from playing the Saints Row Reboot is fucking depression and a lack of a will to live. Even whenever you see the few people on Twitter praising this game to high heaven, all you see is the worst gameplay you could possibly imagine, with some of the worst lighting in any video game I've ever seen. I simply refuse to believe that the Saints Row Reboot had a year of development, because frankly there's just nothing here. This is a pre-alpha build of the game released to the public, but as the full $70 product, and it's why I've had to use Destiny 2 gameplay instead of Saints Row Reboot gameplay for this review, because there's no content that's even worth using as gameplay, since you guys would be bored out of your minds watching it. I've never seen a video game this bad, and it's why I can't even recommend you going out of your way to pirate the game. It's also why I have absolutely nothing else to talk about for the rest of this video, which means I'm going to have to end it here. So with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Twitter and my Discord server, as well as like, comment and subscribe, so that I will see you all in the next video, where we will be looking at anything other than this pile of shit from a truly terrible publisher, a truly terrible development studio ran by absolute wankers.